Good evening. I'd like to call to order the meeting today for the Allegany County Board of Education, Tuesday, December 10th, 2024 at 5:05 p.m. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, in liberty and justice for all. We wanted to take a minute before we start to acknowledge why our board looks a little different this evening. Mrs. Fraley was not able to be here due to a prior work commitment. This would have been Mrs. Fraley's last meeting as a board member, and we wanted to just take a moment and thank her for her 8 years of service and commitment to the Allegany County Public School System. We also suffered a loss last week with the board president of Mr. Farrell unexpectedly. We wanted to acknowledge that this evening and pay our respects toward him. We've left his seat vacant in honor of him for this meeting. I just wanted to say Bob and I became very close over the last 4 years. I probably wouldn't have been able to make it through these last 4 years. He became a very close friend. We worked well together, and this was unexpected, and we will greatly miss him. And our thoughts and prayers go out to his family and friends. Mr. Bond, Dr. Bond.
It's not an easy thing to address this because I didn't know Bob until he and I both ran for the board 7 years ago. And he had his heart and soul into the system. He loved the job. He loved people. He was just a great guy. And it's just weird being at this table without somebody that you form a bond with like that. He was like a brother. So I'll miss him greatly. And any of you that knew him know exactly what I'm saying.
Please bow your heads for a moment of silence. Thank you. Mr. Llewellyn will now read closed session summaries for the executive session held November 12th.
The Allegany County Board of Education met in closed session on November 12th at 4 p.m. here at the central office. The purpose of the closed session was to consult with legal counsel, discuss personnel matters, and engage in administrative function. All 5 board members were present, and the vote to go into executive session was unanimous. The topics discussed were County Salary Commission, non-resident student, police MOU, and superintendent renewal deadline.
This time, can I have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
So move.
Second.
Any questions or discussion? All those in favor? Motion passes. Moving on to the superintendent's report, we have Mr. Jeff Avey with us this evening to recognize our student Christmas card contest winners.
Thank you very much. This year, the Allegany district participated in the holiday card contest, and along with the Career Center in their graphic design program. And the process began in October, where the students used time with their teachers to create holiday cards that were submitted to me at the end of the month. And then for selection amongst myself and some colleagues here at the central office and our elected board, pick finalists, and we're here to recognize who those winners are today. Starting with the Career Center, I want to recognize, and she's here with her mother. You can come on up. Madison Penrod designed this card. This turned a lot of heads during the selection process because of its clever appeal. And this is the young lady that designed that card. Her teacher is Mr. Michael Shockey from the Career Center, who also created a set of cards for you to take and give to friends and family. She is in the 12th grade, and she is going to major in human services at Allegany College of Maryland next year. Miss Madison Penrod. You want? Not so fast.
Madison, the board has prepared this little packet for you, so your cards are in here, and there's also a gift card for art supplies, so you can continue your creative endeavors.
Thank you.
Congratulations and thank you.
Thank you.
I'd like to call up Miss Claire Zumbrun. Claire is in the 4th grade at Parkside, and her teacher's name is Kelly Lasher, and she's spoken very well of her. This is Kelly's first year at her new position with Allegany County Public Schools. In addition to being a gifted artist, she is a violinist in the Parkside Orchestra, and she is an avid reader. Congratulations.
There you have cards in here as well, and a gift card for you to get some art supplies. Congratulations.
Thank you. I would like to call to the microphone Miss Mallory Bush. Mallory is here with us. She's an 8th grader at Braddock Middle School, and she is here with her teacher, Whitney Stoner, and her mother, and I believe every other member of her family. About a half dozen or more are sitting behind me in appreciation for Mallory's efforts and her talents. This is her card, and you're going to receive some cards for yourself to give to family and friends. And I'd like to point out that Mallory is an avid member of the Braddock Chorus, the theater program, the student council, and her youth group. Congratulations, Mallory.
The Addams Family production?
Yes.
That was an excellent production. I got to catch that one. So.
Thank you.
And gift card in here for you as well.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. I would like to recognize now and call to the microphone a 12th grader at Allegany High School. And here is his card. His name is Ben Shanklin. I've introduced several 12th graders that are brilliant artists, and then we find that they're going to move on beyond high school and major in something else, and perhaps their artistic affairs have something to do with their citizenship. Ben is going to be an artist. Listen as I read a little bit about his accomplishments. In case the detail that's on this card makes you do a double take, or perhaps you saw his work as a junior at the countywide art show last spring. It turned a lot of heads and garnered a lot of attention. He's a senior at Allegany High School, and it's his second year in AP Art, where he got the most perfect score you can get on a 2-dimensional portfolio last year. He's working on a drawing portfolio this year. A piece of his artwork has been accepted to the University of Maryland Global Campus's statewide high school juried art exhibition. I'm hoping to have a link to that show, and we'll put it on public display. He has the opportunity to win a $1,000, a $2,500, or a $5,000 scholarship through participation in that program. He's planning to hold a graduation art show at the Bev Walker Gallery at the Cumberland Theater. He does not know for sure what art college he is attending, and he provided a little bit of detail. He's already been accepted into the Ringling College of Art and Design in Florida, the Chadron State College in Nebraska, the Maryland Institute College of Art in Baltimore, and the Art Institute of Chicago, based on the merits of his quality artwork. He's waiting to see if he can get into the Rhode Island School of Design, where they only let 17% in. So he might find out about that this week. It's been an honor to when the pandemic was coming to a close, and we were starting to display artwork, and we were trying to do virtual artwork, and these teachers at Allegany, and Casey Robb is with us along with his mother. Some details. You have to check out this work by this new ninth grader at Allegany. His work is something unique and special, and I'm proud to recognize him on behalf of the school system as a senior, and I wish you the best of luck. I hope you get into the school you want. We're all crossing our fingers for you, but a round of applause for Mr. Ben Schenker. Congratulations. Well done.
Great job, man. Thank you, Ben. Good luck in your future.
Ben, just got a question. What's your favorite technique of all your styles?
I don't know. I like colored pencil.
Color pencil?
That's what I made into my portraits
And
You can do anything.
I've seen his work at all the shows. I've been following at all the art shows, all the different pieces of art that you've displayed. Also, when did you know? Have you always been able to just draw things? And I know obviously you've had people helping you, but when did you know right off the bat? Did it just come naturally that?
I don't know. I guess I really started taking it serious when I was in 7th grade.
We definitely knew in middle school. We did or not, we did. We were sure.
I wasn't there yet in middle school, but then I went and started, I guess I tried to push myself further, and then I started seeing, like, progress. So then I was like, oh, maybe I can make this a career instead of a 9 to 5. And then,
Then to get to this level, camps.
I'm in the middle of nowhere. I gotta teach
You attended the
myself.
Ringling pre-college summer program.
Yeah, that was kind of just to let them know that I exist.
So
I have a
you
feeling
haven't
they
tapped
know
into
now.
your ceilings. You've got a long ways because with more and more training when you go to one of these schools. So we'll be seeing all types of things when
Yeah,
you.
it's very an I don't know situation.
Yeah.
Every single day it's, oh, this is going this way or this is going another way. New opportunities here, and then you kind of just have to go. I don't know.
Yeah.
There's a lot of chaos.
I'm sure. Well, we wish you the best.
I think Ben and the other students will have some attractive work on display at the County Art Show, which is going to be up at City Place in Frostburg, April 23 through 27. Hope to see you there. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Avey, and congratulations to all of you guys. Your Christmas cards are one of my favorite things that we do each year. It's having them come in and we get to vote, and it's fun to see your work. So good job. And you all are welcome to step out if you're ready. You can also stay. Next, we have the Fort Hill Unified Flag football team to recognize their state championship, and Mr. Jeff Brode, the coach.
Okay. All right, now. And I brought two of my assistants, John Broll, Carol Ketterman, and we have the unified athletes. This is Abu Stickley, Amos Stickley, and Tate Shambaugh.
Tell us a little bit about it.
About the unified?
About the game and about winning it. Yep.
About winning it? Well, down there, the different thing with unified flag football, it's different. There's two levels. There's a 5 versus 5, and then there's also a skills. And Tate and Abu both play on the team. Tate's our quarterback. Abu plays defense for us, and Amos does the skills. So he does it with a partner, and we were lucky this year. We won the skills and the 5 versus 5.
Wow, nice. How many members are on your
We have 18.
18.
And then the other thing is these two guys,
to make? Yeah.
they are actually the guys that coach during the regular season, but because of the playoffs, when we go down to the States, then we take over. But pretty much the kids do it themselves.
Wow, nice.
I mean, we have 18 kids. We had 7 on the skill that participated in the skills, and then the rest of them were in the 5 versus 5.
Right. Well, congratulations.
What do you got to tell them?
We'd like to present you with this plaque. And congratulations, guys.
Oh,
Yeah, that's for you guys.
All right.
Congratulations, job
What
well
do you
done.
got to tell them? Go ahead and say it. Say it. Do it. What did we talk about?
Thank you.
Thank you. Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah, all right. And then what else do you got to say? Tell them.
Yeah,
Go
thank
ahead. Go be great.
you. Could be that.
Let's go sit down until they're done.
Thank you, guys. Congratulations. Next, we are recognizing our homecoming players, offensive and defensive players, with Coach Alkire, and then also recognizing our state championship winning football team.
All right, good evening. I am Coach Alkire, and I have Nick Willison and Jabril Daniels here with me. They are the award winners this year from the homecoming game. Nick on the defensive side of the ball and Jabril on the offensive side of the ball. Both kids were very instrumental in our success this year, not only in the homecoming game, but throughout the whole season. So their awards are definitely well-deserved. In terms of the championship team, it was a great group of kids this year, very young group of kids this year. Only had 10 seniors. So because of the low numbers of seniors, we had a lot of sophomores up, and it took a lot of time to gel. We essentially had 3 groups of kids that had never played with each other before. And they did a great job leading those guys and bringing those guys up to where they needed to be to win a championship.
Well, congratulations. It's been fun watching you all season.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
And the pressure to keep going on, I know, is not easy from a coaching standpoint or as a player standpoint. But I would like to ask, what's your plans next year?
My goal is to attend a college. I don't have one picked yet, but for free and study criminal justice.
Criminal justice.
Try to get into like the FBI or something.
Yeah, nice. What do you want to do?
I'll be going to college to probably studying business or sports management.
Business or sports management? Yeah. Well, great, and congratulations. And I hear both your names all the time, so I know where you are in the field.
Good job.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Well, good job. Do you want this one, Coach?
Sure. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Thank you, guys.
Yep, thanks for slipping over this evening. We appreciate it.
Not a problem. Thank you.
Yep. I guess I'd be remiss if I didn't recognize our administration and support of all of our coaches, assistant coaches. Yeah, you get up right in time. I waited to you. But all the support from the school and the community, very much appreciated. So thank you.
You all are welcome to step out if you want to. Okay, at this time, we'll be receiving a Next Generation Scholars update from Mr. Leonard Webb.
Good evening. Michael, yep. First and foremost, I'd like to thank Allegheny County Public Schools for allowing me to do what I do with the Maryland Business Roundtable for Education. It's been a rewarding experience, and I love the opportunity to support the students of Allegheny County. The Maryland Business Roundtable is the catalyst for business, government, and education to drive high student achievement that ensures a competitive future workforce for a world-class economy. This is our Board of Governance. We've added a few over the past year. Let you look at that really quick. This is our leadership team. Sharon Markley Schreiber was appointed as our executive director in January of 2024. As you know, you probably know Nona Carroll is the deputy director. She's been around all 8 years of the grant. And Chris Thorne is our chief information and operations officer. This is the 8th year of the grant in Allegheny County. This is my 5th year of serving Allegheny County. This is our leadership team. We have our state program manager here, Ms. Pannoni, who was formerly the Next Generation Scholar Specialist in Allegheny County. These are our current programs that we share with Allegheny County, and as Maryland continues to implement the blueprint, the key initiative is ensuring all students are college and career ready. MBRT is committed to college and career readiness for the students of Allegheny County, whether that is through GPA, internships, or apprenticeships. The blueprint for Maryland's future has a goal of 45% of the students complete an apprenticeship by 2030-31 school year. MBRT has always been career readiness, not just college readiness. Sometimes in districts there's a confusion of college readiness, career readiness. We've always, through the 8 years of the grant, have combined the two. We want to ensure that the students benefit so we can keep more of our youth talent in Western Maryland. The first core program that we have is the Next Generation Scholars. It's 7th, 8th, and 9th grade, and that helps serve students in the underserved communities and have a career pathway starting with the 7th grade. As you probably know with the blueprint, they should be college and career ready by the 10th grade. Our Speakers Bureau, where we use volunteers to come in and talk to the students and expose them to industry recognized credentials that they can have in the future while they're in high school. Our Student Ambassador program consists of students all across the state of Maryland where they learn leadership skills. We actually have 2 in Allegheny County. They're both at Fort Hill High School, Sierra Ross and Cole Blank. And our Way to Be, we have an app that is available for students to talk to industry professionals, to learn more about the industry and college and career readiness. These are some of our program services. We have the Maryland Future Pathways, one-on-one counseling that I do with students at Fort Hill. And I'd like to thank Ms. Cannon. She left though, but she allows me access to the students when they need support with college and career readiness. We completed a career tour at Garrett College where they learned about industry recognized credentials. 28 students participated. And we have our classroom sessions, 10th grade career exploration, 11th grade is job skills and mock interviews, which will be coming up in January. That's always a success. Usually our 11th graders, less than 10% have a resume, a usable resume. By the end of our mock interviews and resume workshops, over 90% have a functional resume. And financial literacy, which we completed with over 90 students, seniors participating at Fort Hill. We have summer service, learning opportunities, and our college boot camp during our summer sessions where juniors can create their college app. They can apply to colleges and learn about the FAFSA and the Maryland Higher Education Commission grants and scholarships that are available through them. Of course, our main focus is on attendance, behavior, and coursework, where we see that our next generation students are either with the students that aren't participating as far as grade point average, attendance, and behavior, and sometimes they show an increase in those areas. This is our session data from last year. We had 36 learning engagements that served 946 students. We had a career tour of Allegany County, of local businesses, which 28 students participated in. We had 3 FAFSA and financial aid nights for parents and students. 23 students participated. I believe 7 parents participated. And the best part about that is they weren't just from Fort Hill, they were from Allegany and Mountain Ridge. We conducted our mock interviews using our local business partners, where 73 students participated in the mock interviews. And our summer college boot camp, 4 students came out and learned about the FAFSA and Maryland scholarships and grants. As far as Allegany County goes, it was I say this, a down year from years past. There was $141,250 was reported financial aid received by next generation scholar graduates in Allegany County. Overall, across the state through our 5 districts, $4.3 million was the total financial aid award. College and career readiness. How are students becoming college and career ready with this program? Like I said earlier, the access to industry professionals and our volunteers, access to colleges through college visits. We're planning a visit to maybe Frostburg, Hagerstown Community College in the springtime. And our Next Generation Scholars is an extended resource to career coaches to help identify internships and apprenticeship opportunities. I'd like to thank our career coach at Fort Hill, Landon Loya. He's participated in our industry day, was a chaperone there and stayed all day and through the evening. And we collaborate all the time on how we're going to make Allegany County college and career ready through career days and career tours and FAFSA and all those things. So we're working with our college and career coaches to make sure our students are college and career ready. For this year, we had 5 students go down to Kaiser Permanente in Luthersville, Maryland, where they learned about the health industry. Tri-State College Night, that was at Allegany College. 13 next-gen students participated in that. We had a Maryland College Application Campaign in October for a week, where students were able to apply to colleges, learn more about financial aid. And like I said, our Garrett College campus visit, 28 students from Fort Hill attended. So if anybody from Allegany County would like to participate in the FAFSA night or learn more about college and career readiness, my information is up there. We also have a web page that I didn't put on there, but it's mbrt.org. So thanks for having me. Mm-hmm.
There's so many different facets to your program. 2 questions. Mm-hmm. One is, what is the biggest challenge that you see from your seat? And then secondly, what do you find is the most rewarding from your seat, what you see?
Oh, okay, good. Parent engagement is the biggest challenge. I think that's consistent throughout the state. We try and do emails and phone calls and keep in touch, but it's really parent engagement. I would love to be able to have a bigger venue. I usually use the YMCA or Oscars. They're grateful. I'm grateful for their support where I can use their building, but I would love to have a larger auditorium for the students that are in need and support the parents and know that I'm a resource. So parent engagement is the biggest challenge. Okay. For me, it's just when I see students get that acceptance letter and they run to me before they run to their parents and say, hey, I got accepted. Or just recently, there was a young lady who wanted to go to Bowie State, And she got to go, but she would have to stay at a relative's house. She couldn't stay on campus. And right before she left for college, she got notified that she got the Next Generation Scholar Grant, and she's able to stay on campus.
Nice.
So those type of stories always keep me going.
Oh, we appreciate all your hard work.
Thank you.
Any other questions for Mr. Webb? Okay, thank you. Okay, up next we have Dr. Stewart and Mrs. Dietry with a presentation on career awareness field trips at Braddock Middle School for the Blueprint pilot.
Good evening. Before I start to talk about the career field trips, I did want to take just a minute to formally thank Mr. Blank and the board members for allowing Braddock to be a Blueprint pilot school. Mr. Blank put a lot of faith in us and has really licensed us to think outside the box, to be creative, to work collaboratively as a Braddock staff, with our total ACPS staff, with the school community, to really leverage the resources that are available through the Blueprint legislation, you know, with the ultimate goal of improving student outcomes. So it's been exciting. It's been, I would say it's been work, but work we've all enjoyed, and we're, you know, really feeling intrinsically motivated to keep at it each time we see a little win. So I appreciate the opportunity. And I am going to talk about just one small piece of one of the areas that we started to address over the summer once we realized we were going to be a pilot school, and that was how to expand the role of the career coach and the overall career counseling program. So with me I have Mr. Mowry, who would like to be in the background, but he has certainly been in the foreground for all of the planning and all of the just the whole logistical piece and the ideas and all the things that have gone into these trips. So do I advance the slides? Thank you. So Mr. Mowry came to us at Braddock last school year and did a great job really talking with kids and doing lessons around career exploration, had some guest speakers in. But I think it was evident to him and to all of us as we would reflect on things or go to his lessons that our students just really did not have the background to engage in real conversations, and they weren't ready to have any type of pathway put in front of them. I think it all felt like kind of pie in the sky and way out there, and not for them at this age. So that did start the summer conversation of, you know, how can we get our students excited about career opportunities, and, you know, the biggest thing I think that can excite anybody at any age is really a hands-on experience. So from there, that kind of birthed this idea of field trips in our community that are career focused. And, you know, again, Mr. Mowry stayed the course because we had to have 12 field trips ready to go by the end of the first marking period, because when you're planning field trips for 200 sixth graders, there's really nowhere in our community that can host them all in a day. And we didn't want it to be many, many days of instruction interrupted for teachers because half went here and half went there on different dates. So with a team of people at school, Mr. Mowry led the charge on designing 4 field trips around various career clusters for each grade level, having them all happen on the same day, and buses arriving at the same time in the morning, and a quarter of our kids going to each site. And at the end of each 9 weeks, there's a 6th grade day, and they'll rotate. So by the end of the year, they'll have participated in all 4 field trips. By the end of a 3-year time at Braddock, they will have participated in all 12. And so when you look at the list, it's like, Allegheny College of Maryland. Well, no, these are big. Never have I been greeted. It was like a breath of fresh air, really, for our community people to be so excited. They were as excited about receiving our students as we were about sending them. And at one point, Ryan said, I don't know if we're going to pull this off by the end of the first 9 weeks to have all this ready. And so we cast the net a little wider and pulled in Dr. Main, who has great relationships and partnerships at AC. And the next day, like within 24 hours, I'm looking at 9 really influential leaders at AC who are like, what can we do? How can we help you? How can we get those kids here? You know, let's remember they're middle school kids and their attention span's probably 8 minutes or so. We're going to rotate them. We're going to have all these activities. And these were phenomenal trips. Frostburg City Tour, our kids went to Glassburner and Ham Accounting. They went to Main Street Books to see, entrepreneur of a bookstore and what's a day in the life like. And they went to Allegany Computers. They went to the Toasted Goat to see the restaurant. They had lunch. Really rich, robust field trips right here in our community. So they were exciting. I think that Mr. Mowry was happy each day when all the buses returned and everybody was joyful. And so we talked about how to really have you feel what we feel at the school level. And so Ryan put together a video really because you need to hear it from our kids. Like, we could tell you it's great, but really they're going to tell you. So cue up the video.
Hi, my name is Anna Hampton. I'm a 7th grader at Braddock Middle School. My favorite part about the Garrett College field trip was looking around campus. One day I hope to perform in the Performing Arts Center there.
Hi, I'm Damari Allen, 8th grader here at Braddock, and I went on the UMPC field trip. And my favorite thing there was the laboratory and the x-ray machines. And one career I learned about was physical therapy.
Hi, I'm Julie Bonnet and I teach at Braddock Middle School, and during October we took a group of 7th grade students on a field trip out to Allegany College of Maryland and to Western Maryland Works. While at Allegany College of Maryland, the students got to experience some hands-on things, learning about the medical fields, how to separate medicines and things. They got to practice washing their hands to see if they were good hand washers or not. They also went and learned about cosmetology, mixing of colors, to see how some of that is done in real life. And they also got to experience some criminal justice things where they learned about different contraband that criminals might sneak into the jail and what to look for. They got to handcuff each other and experience some of those things. Next, we went to Western Maryland Works, where the students learned opportunities that they could go out and experience during high school. So they got to see the wood shopping areas, making different cutting boards or things like that in the wood shop. They learned about mechanical engineer and got to watch it make a little piece the machine did for an airplane. And they also got to see the 3D printing in action, where they made a little crab. And they also saw where the 3D printers are used for different medical offices. They got to view and hold where the 3D printer created an model of a heart, and that will be sent to a medical office, and they learned about how they use those to help them in their practices. So it was a cool experience. The students really enjoyed all the hands-on opportunities that both places gave us, and it gave them some information that they might want to apply in their future for career choices. It was a good day.
Hi, my name is Gwendolyn Meyer. I go to Braddock Middle School in the 7th grade. We went on the Frostburg Walking Tour. First, we went to Main Street Books and everyone purchased a book. Then we went to Hotel Gunter and had a tour and learned the history about it.
My name is Jacob Snyder and I'm in 6th grade here at Braddock. I went on the Cumberland Downtown Tour. Some of the things we did there was we went to the Allegany Museum, visited Cafe Mark, and AJ's Cookie Jar. My favorite was the Allegany Museum.
My name's Alina Williams. I'm in 6th grade at Braddock Middle School. Some of the things that we've done at our last field trip at the Career Center is we got to explore a lot of new jobs that I didn't really know about before. So as I'm going to see new jobs and picking out ones that I like for the future, I'm pretty sure that I would like to do law enforcement because I like saving people's lives and helping people. So it's nice to be in law enforcement. And some of the other jobs that we're seeing is construction and stuff like that. We were seeing people building houses and different things like that, which I also think is really cool. But just maybe it's not for me.
Hey, I'm Sean Twig here. I get the privilege of teaching 7th and 8th grade here at Braddock. I had the opportunity to take a group of 8th grade students to Walnut Ridge Farms in Flintstone. I just want to tell you, I felt like Mrs. Reinhardt and her family were so hospitable. Our kids had the opportunity to learn so many things about farm life, homesteading life, hands-on life skills. They had an opportunity to not only learn about farm animals, but they had an opportunity to actually even shave a sheep. They had an opportunity to use the clippers and go walk in the pens. Got a chance to see even an emu up close. Got to see various types of cattle. And then they went and they learned how to make homemade jam. They learned about how meat is butchered and then preserved and sold. They talked to them about that. And so many other things. But the most important part about it all, when they learn about scarecrows, making homemade scarecrows with the purpose of them in fields, I mean, I could keep going. But the coolest part about, I think, all of it was not just the instruction. It was the fact that they had an opportunity to get hands-on and experience a life that some of them may have never even experienced or seen before. And they were hands-on in that process. So again, great opportunity for students to go out on a field trip like this at a farm. Again, we thank Ms. Reinhardt and her family for hosting us.
Hi, my name is Bailey Llewellyn, and I'm in 8th grade at Braddock Middle School. My group went on the Walnut Ridge Farm field trip. We did a lot of activities while we were there, including making jam, learning how to shear a sheep, doing a relay race with eggs. We got to learn about apples, and we made scarecrows. So like the jam making was like really cool because we got to learn that like you can make jam really easily, and we also got to try it, and it was really good. The apple making was cool because we got to learn about all the different types of apples and how you can grow them and what trees they're on, and we got to try them, which were also really good. Learning how to shear sheep was like really awesome because I would have never expected like that to be something that people do, but it is, and it's also really easy but also fun because I love animals. So that's also a really cool career choice. And then with the scarecrows, we got to make scarecrows and learn about what they're really used for in real life and like where they originally came from. And with the eggs, we got to do a fun relay race and kind of learn about the eggs as we did so, but it was just really fun too.
Hi, my name is Kara Breedlove. I'm an 8th grade math teacher at Braddock. I chaperoned the field trip to the Greater Cumberland Regional Airport. While they were there, the 8th graders learned about the airport's current and past functionality. They learned about the Civil Air Patrol organization. They were given an overview of the typical workday for the Maryland State Police Trooper 5 crew, a crime scene investigator, and a bomb squad member, and what training was required for those jobs. They saw Maryland State Police K-9 in action. We also had the pleasure of learning about a privately owned plane from the plane's owner, and we wrapped up the day with a wonderful lunch from Coney Island.
But we did ask every career-focused person in the community to talk about a day in the life and then their pathway to sustaining that career. So did they go to college? Did they have to have a certain skills training program? Did they take licensure exams? How did they get to where they are so that kids can really start to wrap their head around there are many, many ways to get to a sustainable career that they can enjoy every day. And it has shifted some of the conversations to things like, I want to be in law enforcement. I would like to work in a hospital. I would like to, you know, go to aviation school and fly Trooper 5. I didn't know you could do that in the state police. I thought you had to be a trooper on the road. Like, they just didn't know. And another unintentional thing that was a great outcome is our staff didn't know. So Mrs. Bonnet's talking about Western Maryland Works, and we don't know. So in order to have those conversations with kids, if Mr. Mowry is the coach and he's the only one that knows what you can do there, it limits us. And so I think it's been great for our staff to see, hey, AC has changed since maybe I attended there 20 years ago. The things they offer are different. Western Maryland Works is amazing. You know, kids can do amazing things at the Career Center that we're just not versed. And so I think an outcome that we didn't necessarily write on paper is what we hoped for is happening because my staff is saying like, wow. And my tech ed teacher said, hey, do you think I could go on the 7th grade trip? I think I need to see Western Maryland. I need to see that. So I can talk about it with kids and make it something they hear more about, and we continue those conversations. So again, we appreciate the opportunity and the support so that we can do things like this. And obviously our goal is to make sure we can expand it into the other middle schools or into other spaces so that all kids in Allegany County can benefit.
We know you're doing so many different things with the pilot program. You're just touching on one aspect, but I want to thank you, your staff, the team that you've put together district-wide, and the things that you're uncovering as you move forward. We'll be anxious to focus on what we want to build. And being selected is great, but also all the hard work, we just want to recognize that all this stuff doesn't just happen. So we very much appreciate it. And I love the idea, it's not a field trip. It's a learning experience. You're doing a lot more than a field trip.
Oh, yeah.
And tying everything into that. And and bottom line, what a great experience for our students. So thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you. And Ms. Dietry is going to speak about how we have a little bit pushed into some other schools with this kind of idea. So.
Hello. Yeah, exactly. Why Braddock got to participate in this field trip model of the pilot, we also wanted to recognize the other middle schools too and what type of initiatives that they could do. Being in Allegany County, it is hard. Like our employers, we only have so many and we count on them for so much, whether it's internships, apprenticeships, guest speakers coming in. So we don't want to bombard them all at once. So I just was going to talk about the other, what the career coaches are doing in the other schools. At Washington, Dr. Kinney and the team, we're going to do an Ag Exploration Awareness Fair. That's going to be partnered with the University of Maryland Extension. And the purpose of that is because we do have the Ag CTE Completer program, it starts in 9th grade. So we really want those students to be aware of what the ag industry and what that cluster means as far as careers that are beyond farming, whether it's opportunities in research, environmental sustainability, supply chain. It's just a lot more. Because when you talk about the kids, even going into 9th grade, like, oh, what's the ag mean? They just automatically think that. While some really want to do that, there's just more beyond that. So the ag fair is going to be hopefully helpful. There's going to be stations. There's going to be different vendors that come in, and the kids are going to be able to experience that at Washington, and then hopefully we'll be able to model that at the other middle schools as well. And at Westmar and Mount Savage, that career coach has taken initiative with guest speakers. What we've learned is sometimes you can have a guest speaker come in and they can't engage with the students. We've had, I think Ray said he was like a rocket scientist. I don't know if he really was a rocket scientist, but it just wasn't there for the kids, the connection there. So kind of vetting the type of guest speakers that were coming through. But we also want to make sure it aligns to curriculum. That's a big goal with MSDE, and the blueprint is aligning curriculum to the careers. So one example that was successful was in the English units. They were doing an animal care section. So actually the executive director of the animal shelter came in, and she talked about what it was running a nonprofit. So you're thinking about, the traditional taking care of animals and what they do there, but there's a lot more of understanding what a nonprofit is and then what it means to be a grant writing. And so it's just thinking outside the box of how we can bring in these speakers that also contribute to what the teachers are teaching in the classroom. So that's exciting. And then once we have that bank of those speakers, we hope, then you can go to Washington and Braddock and things like that. We do have 2 high school coaches, and like Leonard talked about, MBRT is a really good partner for us for college and career readiness. But the 2 that are there's one that does Mountain Ridge and CTE, Will Kearns, and then Landon does Allegany and Fort Hill. And some of the initiatives that they do 9th grade transition lessons. So it's like, I'm out of middle school. What does it mean to be in high school now? In 10th and 11th, they will meet with students maybe not on track. If they don't have a lot of credits, they're kind of talking about, like, what do you want to do? Like, what do you want to get out of school? What's your future? So they're able to talk to those students. They're also doing specialized field trips. For instance, students at Mountain Ridge that were in the advanced tech and engineering courses, they went up to the Frank Lloyd Wright House, and they were able to talk about architecture and go through that connected to what they were learning in the classroom. They also stopped by the Ohio Pile Bridge, and they were building the bridges in the class, so they got to see and they talk about the structures there. So I think that's impactful when they can go out into the world and see those things that they're also learning. They do guest speakers by curriculum. They're going to do resume and interview workshops. They also do the college exploration, trying to get out more. They do self-discovery assessments that are matching interests. So the coaches are able to pull, well, this pot of students is interested in teacher and education or whatever the cluster is, then they can do specialized field trips or specialized college visits that are going to have those students targeted to that. So it's just a little overview. Dr. Caldwell said I only had a few minutes. So
what are you seeing from students from the beginning stages of all this to where we are now? Are students viewing those positions? I'm sure it's changing because it was brand new to begin with. So
yeah,
give us a little insight on how the
last
students...
year was the first year, and it was kind of like getting your feet wet to see like what is working. I think that the students, they're excited, and I feel like a small group and the one-on-ones at the high school level with a coach is really those conversations, and it's getting them more excited. Like there is something that I might want to do, or I am interested in this, and there is an opportunity for me. And making those conversations. In the middle schools, I think, I went on a few of the field trips with them, and it is exciting when they're like doing the activities and seeing all that. But it's just rewarding that the kids are excited and they're learning, especially like she said, like we have things in our community that are good jobs, and all the naysays that you hear like, oh, there's nothing here. Well, there really is. And here's how you get here. Here's what ACM can do. Here's what Frostburg can do. And then you can have this job. I think that's where it's making the connection and kind of turning the tide. So.
That's the key. Yep.
Any other?
Got a question?
Oh.
I know. We have a coach here, so I just wanted to hear your take, what you've seen from your experiences. Just give me your not a challenge, but a success. What are you seeing that's exciting?
Yeah, kind of what Ms. Teachery said about those jobs are here, and when the kids kind of come back and I kind of reflect with them, I have them do a little write-up and talk about what they may have seen or maybe what they would have seen. But, have them, kind of say, I didn't know that was here, or wow, I didn't expect that. And it's kind of like a pivotal time, to kind of decide before they go into high school, especially the 8th graders, what they kind of want to do, because they only have about 2 years, to decide if they want to go to the Career Center or maybe want to stay in high school and go a college route. But I think, just getting that just kind of wowness from them, those experiences they have maybe at the Walnut Ridge or maybe it was with Trooper 5, but just to kind of get their feet wet with that.
Yeah, that's a couple of things we've been talking about for a long time, and me personally, that talking about careers with students, it's imperative. We're educating, but we have to talk to them about careers. And then secondly, letting them know the pathway to get there, and it can happen here.
Absolutely.
So many don't realize exactly what you all are doing. So I appreciate all that work, and Allegany County is going to benefit from all the things that your team is putting out for our students. So congratulations. Thank you.
I will give a plug too. Out of all the counties, when the coordinators get together and the labor boards are meeting with us, they said we're ahead of the game. Like we had the coaches hired quickly and they had plans of action. So it's always nice to hear that.
Right. Being ahead of it and getting the right people, and none of that surprises me. When all of you in the right place, there's no doubt. Somebody had some questions too.
I can remember Mr. Blank talking about careers on the 8th grade field trip to New York City when my son, his son, and you were all that age and younger, and you were at my house a lot of times. And it's just good to see you doing such good work for the students and putting together such an incredible program. I'm sure Dr. Stewart is happy with that. It looks great. So keep up the good work, and
thank you.
I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
Did great.
It's extremely important to me and Dr. Stewart and Ms. Teachery that these kids get exposed to all that. So thank you. Appreciate it.
I'll just say anecdotally, not my kid that was on the video, but my other kid, she came home and talked about it too. But so my son is in 6th grade at Braddock. He went to the Allegheny College, came home very excited, is convinced he's going there for engineering. Told me he even told one of the professors he met, "I hope you're here when I get here." So that's that sparked then a big discussion with him about what do you want to do, and it's been interesting. So like just anecdotally, that happened. I mean, he came home and suddenly he's like, "Oh yeah, I'm going to be an adult one day." It was kind of funny, and and so I thought you guys would appreciate hearing that. He was super excited. He's planning to go to Alleghany College. Apparently, he's 11. He's got it figured out.
He's got 3 more good field trips coming up. So I promise. I promise. It could change.
Thank you, guys. As a parent, I feel like since COVID, field trips is something that, at least in my son's age group, we haven't seen much of. They're slowly coming back. So aside from blueprint requirements, keep it up. I think that's fantastic. And thank you for all your hard work, all of you.
Absolutely.
And I will say we were a little bit nervous about that because our kids hadn't been out there. And we had, Dawn Lindsay called to compliment them in the courthouse and just the way they conducted themselves. So that's just it's another piece of something that's great for the kids and for the community to see our students, our ACPS students, come and be interested and be engaged and do the right thing. So that was another great thing that happened.
Any other questions, comments? Okay. Thank you, guys. Appreciate your time.
Thank you so much. You too. Thank you.
Okay, we have, under unfinished business, we have one policy to review, and I will turn it over to Mr. Llewellyn.
This is policy KIA, registered sexual offenders policy. With the change in this is for second reading, so if you pass it tonight, then it becomes policy. This is in response to a legislative change in the law that caused policy committee to take a closer look at this. And you'll see we deleted a bunch of stuff. So we took out all the exceptions as it relates to registered sex offenders, making the policy very clear.
Motion to approve file KIA registered sex offenders, second reading.
Second.
Okay, motion by Dr. Bond, second by Ms. Lepley. Any questions or discussion? All those in favor? Motion passes. Thank you. We did not have anyone sign up to speak, so we will move on under new business. We have consider repealing regulations for the registered sex offender policy. Mr. Llewellyn.
So this is a regulation review, so it doesn't require a vote from the board unless you want to send it back to policy committee. But because of the changes we've just made in the policy KIA, that negates all of the exhibit and regulation that was attached. So this is part and parcel to what you just did on KIA. I can answer any questions if you have any. Otherwise, if you do nothing, then the regulation goes away.
Any questions for Mr. Llewellyn? Okay, move on to our student board member, Ms. Hansroth. Do you have an update for us this evening?
Not too much. I know about a dozen of the ACPS students just went to the Maryland Association Student Council General Assembly downstate. It was really fun. I went. It was my first time. It was pretty awesome. I did some amazing workshops. I know a lot of students were really happy to go and learn some amazing things between public speaking and just being able to do workshops and just practicing their skills overall. It was really awesome. Other than that, we have our ACPS General Assembly tomorrow, our Winter Wonderlands. Workshops will be happening, and it'll be really great. We've got middle school students and high school students coming, so it'll be really awesome.
Sounds good. Thank you. Are there any other board member updates? Need a motion to adjourn?
I move to adjourn.
Second.
All those in favor? Thank you all. Have a good evening.